10, 9, 8, 7, 6, 5, 4, 3, 2, 1, 0.
What's up, everybody? Welcome to WTH Breakout, episode number 13. I am one of your hosts, Tommy, and I'm joined with the man who you may have seen him in the hit documentary on Netflix, My 800-Pound Silverback Gorilla, and the new Emmy-nominated movie, Varsity Blues 2. Wilson, how are you doing?
Oh, I'm good. A little tired. I'm good.
Yeah. You get a late night yesterday.
Yeah.
Or this morning, I guess I'd say.
Uh-huh.
Yeah. This is our second attempt.
Yeah, we tried yesterday. Somebody didn't have good enough internet.
Yeah, does that somebody's name start with a W and with Ilson?
Did you change your name to Wilson?
No, it wasn't me, dude.
Oh.
You were in the cave.
Yeah.
So, how you been, dude?
I'm good. Just been working.
Is it snowing where you're at?
No. It's sunny.
Oh, is it really?
Yeah.
Not down here. It's really overcast.
Huh.
So, yeah, we have a fun-filled day today. We may sound a little tired because it's, early for us right now. Normally we record later on in the afternoon when we've had our, day already happen, but it's early because some of us have to work.
Yeah.
Boo. So, anything new? Anything you've been watching? Anything during your downtime?
I heard they're coming out with another episode of Tiger King, but did it come out yet? Do you know?
I don't know. I haven't even started it yet.
How you're behind.
We just finished the third season of Ozark last night.
Oh.
We kind of binged it, and dude, yeah, it's good. I'm not gonna give anything away, but the ending, the last 10 seconds, my wife and I were just like, our jaw just dropped. We were like, okay.
Huh.
It's good though.
Now I'm gonna have to watch it.
They really play on the emotions in this season. With the Laura Linney character, so that would be Jason Bateman's wife in the show, her brother. Like his character, his acting is so good, and it's sad.
Yeah.
And so they play on those emotions. And I'm trying to get her to watch Bates Motel because I'm like, man, if you liked Ozark, you would like Bates Motel because everyone thinks Bates Motel is just about like the hotel and Norman Bates. I'm like, no, that show is like more. It's along the lines of like Ozark. It's you have the people who are just normal everyday people get involved in some shady things, and then they basically get in trouble and all this other stuff. It just snowballs from there. So I'm like, you should really get into that. But
I haven't watched that show.
You never watched Bates Motel?
No.
Oh man, you gotta give it a try.
Probably.
Give it the first like I say with most series, give it 3 episodes. If you're not hooked by then bounce out. I know, like for me, like I tried Walking Dead. Dude, I tried watching 3 episodes. I couldn't get into it. And then me, I like horror, so it's like, why can't I get into this? And then when I tried it again, the same 3 episodes, I just couldn't get into it.
Yeah, I haven't watched Walking Dead in quite a while.
Is it over? Did they already do their final season?
I have no idea.
You were you a Game of Thrones person?
Yeah.
Yeah, see, I'm not. I've never watched a single episode.
Well, you need to give that one 3 episodes.
I'm not into the. I can tell you right now, I'm not into that whole fantasy thing. Like, I have a hard time with like Lord of the Rings, dragons and stuff. It's never been my cup of tea.
It will be now.
I think you're lying.
Until the last episode. Don't watch that one. It sucked.
Is it the one that's like all dark? Everyone was complaining about.
No, it's the one where the ending was garbage.
Oh,
Yeah.
yeah. Well, that one's been spoiled many, many times for me.
Yeah.
So, I mean, you can thank Facebook for that. So, yeah, we don't have a whole lot going on today, but we do have not a beers today, just because you're working.
Yeah.
It's short hours. It is Easter. We're recording on Easter, so you're away from your family on this Easter, which has got to be pretty tough. Is this your first time away from your family on Easter?
Maybe on Easter.
Yeah.
I think so, yeah.
Yeah, we're not doing a whole lot today. I'm going to make a good dinner later on today. When we get off this call, I'm going to make a breakfast. And when I make my breakfast, dude, I go all out, dude, like big time. So I'm going to
Yeah, I know. You don't go grab umbrellas because you're cooking breakfast.
Oh, someone like actually listens to me.
Ha
Yeah. Yeah. So after our yesterday, we had our little snafu with our recording. We spent that time actually setting things up, and so I figured out a way to get my soundboard to work on my computer while we record on the Zoom call, which is something we couldn't do with Skype. So I'm pretty excited about this.
Yeah, me too. Maybe I'll get one too, now that I got a better computer.
Yeah, and you could actually, when you're editing on your downtime, you're going to be pulling out a lot of funny sound clips.
Yeah, I got some good ones from the last episode. That's for sure.
Yeah, I know the last episode. Last night I pulled a like 13-second clip to post to Instagram, and I sent it to Giggles, and I started laughing. I'm like, totally out of context.
Yeah,
It's so.
there are some good ones.
Like, have you heard the Jimmy Kimmel unnecessary censorship?
No.
It's where you could like have like someone will like they'll have like Donald Trump say something, and they'll put like a one of those censor like beeps, like beep, like he said something bad, like in a random spot, and it makes it sound like he said something bad. Like he goes, I said build it, like that, but they put a bleep there, and it sounds like he says, I said, F it. It just they put it there, and it's like it's called unnecessary censorship, and some of them are like, oh my gosh, like what did he really say in that part? Because like your mind just goes a whole other area. That's fun.
Yeah.
So we're gonna do our world-class segment. See if I can get this going here. You ready?
Okay, let's try it.
Let's try it.
Beers and cheers.
Which there really isn't no beer today. I think we nailed that one, dude.
That was good.
Yeah, we nailed that one. That was like we said at the same time. Sounded
Yeah.
like shit. Thank God for a soundboard and both episodes.
Yeah.
So like I said, no beer today, but I am drinking. Well, you're drinking something. What are you drinking? Gatorade?
Yeah, Gatorade.
What flavor is that?
Watermelon strawberry.
Oh, that sounds actually really, really good.
Yeah, it was pretty good.
I'm been hooked on these things right here. This took place of my my Blue Rebels from what's it called? Dutch Brothers. I need like some sort of a pick me up caffeine thing. So I got these things called Aha waters. There's a
It
sparkling
has
water.
caffeine.
Yeah. It's a citrus green tea caffeine. Because like I said, I I don't drink sodas anymore. I got to be a good boy, or
Should
anything
drink
with
coffee.
sugar. But this thing right here, dude, it's delicious. I like it a lot. Um, so our beverage segment is quite boring today.
Yeah, you did water.
Dude, it's all I can drink. It's
Well,
this.
I
It's
can
this or
talk
regular
about the
water.
one that I tried
Oh,
2 nights ago.
okay. Go for it.
I finally actually had a can of Thin Lines Vixen. I think it's a mango peach sour, and it was good. You can definitely taste like the fruit flavors in it. I think it actually says like sweet and sour on the name of it that they have up there. But it was not too overpowering, not too sour. It was maybe he wanted it to be like a Sour Patch Kids, first they're sour, then they're sweet type of thing.
Those
But
commercials are funny.
yeah, it was good, and it was nice to try something like that because I had a sour from another brewery earlier this week, and it was like there were so many flavors in there, like you couldn't taste anything. It was just like sour.
Oh, gotcha.
Yeah. But
Now, I've always wanted to know this. What gives it the sour? Is it just the fruit, or is it like does he add like a citric acid or something to it?
see, some people can add like that, some type of sour stuff, like they put on sour candy.
Mm-hmm. The
They,
citric acid.
yeah, they can add that to it. Or I'm not sure on how it makes it sour, but there's a way to not do that, and it's like an actual sour. You're
Oh,
not forcing it.
okay. So that was Vixen by Thin Line Brewing. What do you give that one out of 5?
Ooh, in the world of sours, I give it a 4.
4. All right.
Yeah.
So I got that. That's good. And they're still doing you said their cans are the pull tabs now. That's what they're going to.
Yep.
Cool.
And they put out pre-orders for their new T-shirts that are pretty sweet.
Oh, I totally forgot to pre-order mine. Are they still pre-ordering them right now?
I think so.
All right, I might do that today. So we got that taken care of. Now with our cheers, I found something out this morning actually that I want to do a quick cheers to. We mentioned him a lot on the show, but little Zechariah Cartledge from Florida, who does all the running. I think he runs a mile for every first responder, law enforcement officer that dies. He was, I think, for the past like 6 months, the news station there in Florida was doing a thing called Everyday Heroes, and they were doing like voting, like they let the people vote for who is like the viewer's choice hero of the year, and Zechariah won, and he was going up against like 4 or 5 other people. I mean, the other people were doing good things too. Like one guy saved a family from a burning house. Another girl was like helping out homeless, and they're like she was young. Another guy was like a reformed convict who's trying to like help people. So I mean, he had tough competition, but I couldn't think of a better person than Zechariah. I mean, that kid is inspiring, even adults like me. So
Yeah, that's cool.
wanted to do a cheers for him just because I was like, man, it's good for him. It was very well deserved. And let's see.
We got
Last,
another one.
this is the main one. This is the one I thought was cool. I heard this story last week. The actor Gary Sinise, Lieutenant Dan in Forrest Gump.
Yes.
Well, he's very pro-military, and he will help. He just helps people all the time. So what he did was him and a few other people, a few other organizations started this foundation, and what it does is they took at Elysian Park, which is I think across from Dodger Stadium. I think that's where the LAPD Academy's at. And they created like a kind of like a barrack type system for first responders. I believe it's mainly for LAPD cops to stay during their time of working, because a lot of these guys, they can't go home after their shift. One, they live too far. Two, they'll be going back home to someone who is um, high risk in with getting COVID-19. So he gives them they paid for like all this stuff for them to have a place to go, rather than like a hotel or whatever. They just go here, they could sleep, they get fed, shower, because it's hard enough for those guys anyway, because a lot of those guys have to quarantine themselves after their shift as it is, because they don't want to be bringing home all that stuff.
Yeah.
So but in a time when celebrities, I saw it the other day where the celebrities are like, hey, let's sing John Lennon's Imagine, and let's like make like a collage video, because we're celebrities, people look up to us, and let's do that because that's what people need to hear. They need to hear us singing. I'm like, no, we don't care about celebrities right now. Like right now, we're all in the same boat. You guys aren't working. I actually am, and so
Yeah.
to see someone like an actor like Gary Sinise, who could very well easily play into that whole area, do something actually productive and positive, it's really, really, it's in news media, when all you see is bad stuff. When I see this is what I want to see. It's the good, kind-hearted stuff. And so props
It's
to,
refreshing.
yeah. And it kind of gives me a little bit of a light at the end of the tunnel type thing. Like, okay, well, we're going to get through this, because, if more people did this, then, hey, we're just going to sing, with all of our other celebrity friends, because that's enough, then if people did more what Gary Sinise did, I'd be like, okay, we can make more headway on this. I don't see any of these celebrities making masks for people. They have the money to buy the stuff, donate some money for it.
Yeah.
But, props to Gary Sinise, and congratulations to Zechariah Cartledge. So I'm going to cheers my there we go. And we're cheersing. Tink. Cool. So before I start, do you have any like news topics you want to talk about? I do have one for you that I want to get your opinion on, because it actually affects you.
It affects me.
It could. We talked about it briefly.
Yeah, not right now. I know I had something, but I forgot to write it down.
Okay. Well, I'll start with an easy one, and then we'll bring it home with the one that you could chime in on. So I just want to play out a scenario for you. Let's just hypothetically say you're older, or you're a young kid, and you have, or even just just a regular adult, and you have COVID-19, and you're in the ER, and you have all these doctors around you constantly trying to see you, and they have all these like face shields and masks and stuff, and they look kind of scary, something directly out of like a zombie virus movie. They're all around you. So you see that, but you want to like, but you're scared, right? So what some of these doctors have done, and I don't know if it was in New York, but what they've been doing is they've just been posting regular pictures of themselves on their chest, and like just taping it there, so you could see what the doctors look like without all their scary masks and stuff. And I thought that was pretty cool, because it gives them a little bit of like humanizes them a little bit more. It's like kind of like if I ever see like an actor or even a cop, like when he's not in uniform, just out with his family, I'm like, oh, so he is human, they're normal. And I don't know, I saw that, I was like, that's pretty cool, because that shows a lot of where the not the first responders, but the medical workers, they're not only trying to think about getting this person healed, but they're also thinking about the person's well-being, as far as like them being uneasy and scared. They're showing their concern for the person's all around, um, well-being. And I thought that was pretty cool. Different story than what we've been hearing. So it's pretty neat.
Yeah, I don't know. I mean, sure, they're trying to do something to make it easier for people. I don't know if that would do anything for me, but if it's working for them and people like it, then
Yeah.
good for them.
Yeah, I mean, it could even be for like kids too, because I mean, you got to remember, like, once you're in the ER right now, your family can't come back and see you, so you don't have the opportunity to make those connections with your doctor, because I mean, one doctor could come in, and then another doctor come in, and you don't know who's who, because they all look the same, because they're all wearing the same thing. But so it's kind of like putting a face with it, and then you could build a connection inside the hospital itself. Like, I know, like, way back in the day when my dad was sick and he was in the hospital, he would crack jokes with certain doctors, and he would have a relationship with them. Like, they'd come in and he would like crack jokes with them based on, I mean, we all recognize faces. That's the thing. So when they all look the same with their masks and face shields, you don't know. So I think it would work, but some people, it may not. It would probably work for me, because if I can't see my family can't be there for me. I would like to at least see a familiar face. I know that, funny story, back when I worked for Loomis, it was my first requal after Loomis, after I got hired on. And I go to the range, and I don't know anybody there, but I see one guy that I do recognize. And I'm like, oh, cool. It's a familiar face. So I immediately felt good. And I walked up to the guy. Hey, I haven't really met you yet. My name's Tommy. I work at Loomis. And he goes, all right. And he walks away. I'm like, wow, awesome. And then it kind of made me feel like crap a little bit. We all know that guy as McGee. Um, um,
He's a man of many words.
Yeah, I think the entire time I worked with him, I heard him say 3 words. One of them was that okay.
Yeah.
But for that little time, I felt good because I recognized somebody. I'm like, oh, cool, a familiar face. But now, I mean, I don't know. I'm kind of at that point in my life where I see so many different people on a daily basis, and then in the food industry, a lot of the times you'll build a relationship with somebody, then the next week they've moved on to another job. So I kind of like don't get attached, but I just become friendly with everybody, because like I'm the only constant, apparently, I guess.
Yeah, I guess that'd be true. I mean, you're there at least once a week, right?
Yeah, once, sometimes twice, sometimes 3. Depends on the store, and because like there's times where I go, like, they go, hey, what person did you talk to? I go, oh, this person. They go, oh, that person's not the manager anymore. I'm like, okay, well, that's who I talked to, who was the manager last week, who's not this week. Well, that's not my fault that you guys, um, can't hold people in a certain position. So, and this one right here, I kind of wanted your input on it, and I know that you've mentioned it to me before, and I think this right here upsets me, because it's something you love doing more than anything in the world. And it says that the state is telemeeting about California fishing ban erupts into chaos.
Yeah.
They're wanting to, and that's from the SAC-B. They're wanting to ban fishing, like close down all like the reservoirs and everything, so you can't even go out and fish. And then I just wanted your input on that. That I wanted to piggyback that on something else.
So the way I heard it, because I tried to be a part of this meeting and I wasn't able to get in because they didn't realize that if they talk about closing down fishing, there's a lot of people in California that are not going to be happy. So right when the meeting started, I think they said they got inundated with 500 people on the line right away. And then they had people just talking. They have no way to mute them because it's just a phone call. So there was no regulation. So people were mad, saying some stuff. I'm sure there were people that went on there just to crash it, but they ended.
Let's see if it pays off for them.
They ended up. Hey, I'm kind of sitting like him. But they ended up rescheduling it. I forget when it's rescheduled for. They said like a week, but and I think that was Thursday, was it?
I think so, because we were talking about that. You mentioned it to me. You sent me the article, and then I saw another article come out later.
Yeah, but from what I hear, or what he's saying, the governor is this was a meeting to be able to get together with the county governments and talk about possibly closing certain areas to fishing, not closing the season altogether. It's just certain areas, because he was saying places like, what do you say? Mono? Is there a Mono County?
Yeah, Mono Lake.
Yeah. He was saying that I don't know if they have any cases right now of the virus, but they're telling him that they don't think they have the capacity to treat people if a bunch of people come in from other places and bring it with them when they go fishing, which is weird because fishing's like one of the best opportunities you have to like socially distance. Yeah.
That's, I don't know, because every time I've seen people fish, even like if I was to go with you, we're not right next to each other. You don't fish right next to a person. That your lines are going to get tangled. You're going to be ways away.
Yeah.
So I don't know. That's I mean, I can understand like if they're saying like fishing tournaments and stuff like that, or like if I go to when I drive across the American River across Sunrise, there's like a walk bridge right there. I'll see people lining up all the time fishing. I can understand that because those people are right next to each other. But I think that's a flat out like we're gonna ban it. I'm like, come on, man. Like we're like, I know like some states right now are starting to open back up because they're like, this is getting stupid. Like I think Texas is wanting to just reopen their economy.
Sorry, I had something going on my screen. Had to get rid of
I was
it.
looking, I saw you. I was like, what's going on? And with that being said, do you, as of right now, like as a person who paid for like a fishing license, if they were to close that, do you get your money back? Does that
That's a good question.
Does it pause that and then you get to, does it like, so if it goes through December but you lose 2 months, do you now go through February of next year then you renew? Like, yeah, it seems like a way to like, hey, we got all this money but we're gonna close it down. It's kind of like theft in a way. I mean, right? You paid it for it.
Yeah, it depends, because like I said, the governor said it's not statewide. It's only these certain counties that are concerned about what could happen to them if it opens, because there's a season on trout. And then I did hear that they were talking about delaying or canceling the trout season somewhere here in this area, like El Dorado County somewhere. Because I heard somewhere it opens like April 25th or something like that. But there was talk about delaying that, and that's going to frustrate me because that will affect me.
Yeah. Because I've been like following like the progression of we're going to close down essential businesses. and I think it was some county or someplace like they said guns aren't essential, but I think it was like Sutter County said like, no, they are. So we're going to keep our gun stores open. And now they're saying like places, I think this was local. There's a place like CVS where they've roped off everything else but essential goods. So you have like all their Easter candy and everything, they roped it off, says this isn't essential. I'm like, really? I'm like, if you're already there to buy something, what difference does it make if you buy some candy for your kid because you're going to celebrate Easter in your house? They're saying that they're going to like rope off like the electronic sections at Walmart. If you're already there to buy something, it shouldn't make a difference. Well, they're making it harder and harder for these businesses to stay afloat because they get, they get a lot of money off those sales. And
Yeah, looks like I'm going back to Amazon.
yeah, well, I mean, look at like when I was, because I've been, like I said, working out lately, and so when I'm in Walmart, I'll go down like um, the workout aisle because there's a few things like little things I need for a few of the videos I watch. And so I'm like, okay, there's like no more weights. Like you can't buy weights anywhere in any store. And if you go to like eBay or whatever, they're price gouging you on those weights. So I'm like, okay, well, that area would have been blocked off because it's considered non-essential. I'm like, but it is essential. If people can't go to the gym, they have to work out. This is the place where they go to get the stuff. And they're just making it harder and more difficult for people to live during this. I mean, for the most part, most people are, all the people that I know are obeying the rules, and they're staying in their house, and they're, like we had a family outside yesterday of our apartment, with their kid, and they were just playing around, but that was just their family. It wasn't like they had like a huge family gathering. It was just their little family,
Barbecue day.
they weren't even barbecuing. They were just playing in
Oh,
the grass. They had their kid there, and then I think they were like tossing a ball, just a dad and a kid, and like I think a mom was there.
want to have a catch?
Stop it. And it's just like that stuff right there, like that's good to see that. And you know so say like that dad wants to go to um Walmart and get a board game for his family. Board game is good family fun. I have tons of board games. It's one of my favorite things to do. And oh, but we're going to block it off because it's not essential. Well, it is essential if you don't want to go crazy.
Yeah.
And I can only watch so much TV until I'm like, okay, I feel like a slob.
Just get more video games.
Yeah. So I don't know, man. I can't wait for this thing to be over with. Like I said, I haven't seen it personally with them blocking anything off in the stores. I've seen videos from across the country, and I think CVS did it here locally where they blocked off all the Easter stuff. I'm like, well, that sucks because you're not going to be able to. I mean, you could buy that stuff like half price starting tomorrow. So you just screwed that store on their sales. These stores are already struggling to survive. And I don't know. People. I mean, I can understand stores like, like, what's that store called? GameStop. I can understand that store closing because it's just video games. Because there's other video game stores around, but when you have like Best Buy open, well, that's probably I mean, I don't know, because I think you get the same stuff at Best Buy as a Home Depot. But say your washer or your refrigerator goes out, you're going to go need that part. You can't get that part at Walmart. So when your refrigerator goes out, that becomes essential at that point. Because I know like there's many times where my carpet cleaner had a belt break, and I would go to Walmart to try to find the belt for it, and I couldn't find it because they used to carry them, but now I just have to go on Amazon and get it. But then Amazon was doing their thing for a while where they weren't shipping anything unless it was considered essential or medical. But
or it's taken like 3 weeks to get to you.
Right. I mean, I think my wife ordered something and it came right away. She ordered me my birthday present. And I think it came right away. But I don't know, man. It's just like it's weird how you would deem one person would deem something essential and the other thing not, because it may not, what may be essential to you may not be essential to me. So who am I to make that call?
Yeah, and it's even varying like state by state. They're picking and choosing what businesses are essential and not essential.
Well, yeah. I mean, let's think about this. Let's go to like rural town America where you have population 200, 0 cases of COVID-19. Why do they got to close? Like, they don't have to.
Yeah.
But why is it like and that's what people are saying. People are saying, well, um, they're saying like Trump makes the call to close everything, or why can't Trump open it back up? Like, Trump doesn't have that power. He makes a suggestion. It's the governor that controls each state and says, hey, we're going to open up, we're going to lock down, this is what we're going to do. He could just make the suggestion. So this ultimately comes down to our governor on, what is he, what can he deem essential, like we all have to wear masks. Like this all comes down to him, because they don't give the president that much power to dictate each state. So he could just like basically refer to each state. Here's what I suggest you do.
Speaking of, well, kind of going back to the fishing thing, I did hear that Texas declared hunting and fishing essential. So
Texas.
I know, because some places like Folsom Lake closed, can't go there anymore. And now they're talking about trying to close down the trout season and stuff like that.
Yeah.
But
I'll tell you what is kind of cool about this whole lockdown thing. I mean, that sounds kind of funny. Have you seen like pictures of LA lately?
the smog.
Yeah, the skyline.
Yeah.
Dude, it's actually a really pretty looking city. Like without all that brown garbage in the air. And then
Yeah. Even a week after the lockdown, it was there's a big difference.
Like apparently the canals in Venice are clear and dolphins are swimming in them now.
Really?
Yeah, I'm like, wow, that's just crazy. And some people post a meme, we were the disease. I'm like, oh, okay. I'm like, you're getting a little too carried away there. But
yeah,
it is kind of cool seeing how some things change. I'm hoping that we come out of this better people and more aware of everything, and just don't take things for granted so much.
Yeah, it's definitely going to change everybody.
Yeah.
I mean, people aren't going to think the same about just going out anymore.
Yeah, and that's what they're saying. They're saying if they said tomorrow, hey, we're going to open everything back up, not everyone's going to go back to a restaurant. Not everyone's going to go to a concert. People are going to be like, okay, I'm gonna stick back for a while and wait and see how this plays out. People are probably going to wash their hands more. It's kind of like the best analogy is like, you have your kid who burns their hand on the stove, and after you told them many times, hey, don't do that, and they finally do it, and you're all, I told you. This is that moment for us. We're like, wash your hands. And now people are they're going to take that stuff into more consideration. They're going to be more thankful for having a job. They're going to be more thankful that when they're hanging out with their family, they're going to respect that time a lot more.
Yeah.
Just cherish it. So, but I don't know. That's all I got for that.
All right, let's go to something else now. Something non-COVID-19.
Non-COVID-19. So what we're gonna do now, we're gonna talk about the coronavirus.
Oh.
No, what I wanted to talk about was, just to segue off of this, when we were kids, especially now when we're stuck at home or whatever, when we were kids, I lived in more of a mountainous area, so I had a lot more, I guess, freedom from dangerous things, cars and everything. So I would play outside a lot, and I would go on these like little adventures. And then I also had my favorite video games. So I wanted to talk about like childhood pastimes type thing, like things that you did as a kid that you just miss, or that you just remember vividly, that was like one of the coolest things you did as a kid. And then just something that you're like, man, if you could like define your childhood by these events, what would they be?
Okay. I got you.
You got
Who
me?
are we going to start with?
I mean, I could start if you want.
Okay.
Sorry, I got like little COVID going on. When I was when I was a kid, I grew up in as a young kid, I grew up in Oklahoma. So I would ride my bike around. We had like this really long circular shaped driveway. It was huge. I mean, we had a lot of land. And I just remember always going on like little walks. I think we had like it was like a forest area down to a creek, and my mom would like walk back there with me. We had like a tree. My dad built a tree house for us, and it was like so cool. Um, but that's where I first learned how to ride a bike. Was out there, and I remember it was on my sister's banana seat girl bike. It was the first time I remember how to ride a bike. And my dad, I think it was my dad or my mom. I can't remember who was pushing me, but I remember there was no tires on it. It was just the rim. And they pushed me, and I just kept going. I remember right when I first started going, I was like, I'm going, I'm doing it, like that. And but we like I said, we had a lot of land, and it was just so open, and that was kind of my first taste at like adventure. Because when I wasn't inside, I was outside riding my bike or playing in the treehouse, and just when I see like movies, like remember that movie with Robin Williams called Jack?
Yeah.
And they had the treehouse. I'm like, man, I remember what it was like having that. I was like so cool, and um, that was my first taste at like the childhood adventures. Then it got pretty intense from there.
Yeah. Speaking of bikes, that's something we used to do all the time. And we didn't really live out in the country. We were in like a neighborhood. But we'd always get together. I remember we'd build a lot of ramps when I was a kid, and we just keep like stacking them higher and higher and see who would go off them. And one time I remember I went back to get some speed to go off the ramp, right? While I was going back, they raised it up a good, I don't know, at least another like 1.5 feet, 2 feet. And I didn't know it. Yeah, I went off that ramp and I caught a lot of air. It surprised me. I crashed. It was a good time.
Did your bike kind of like go head over and you went over the handlebars?
I don't remember. I probably hit my head, blacked out. Yeah, but back then that wasn't a big deal.
Yeah. Oh man, today,
Yeah,
we'd be done for.
I'm not even sure if I was wearing a helmet. So
Yeah, I don't think I wore a helmet much as a kid. If I was to go ride my bike now, I'd wear a helmet just because I'm definitely not who I used to be. I think another one for me was when I used to live in a town called Alta, which is up above Colfax. And I had this neighbor, his name was Travis, and he would only visit like every so often. It was like, I think it was his mom and stepdad lived there. So it was like on the weekends he would be visiting. And so he goes, let's just go hang out. Let's go like, on a hike. I'm like, all right. So, I had a lot of freedom as a kid, so we'd walk down trails and stuff. And there's these railroad tracks there. And he goes, hey, I found this cave. I'm like, oh, this is awesome. So we go up into this cave, and it's like a maybe a 50-yard cave. It just goes in and out the other side. I don't even know what the point of it was. And I think it was bored out. This is me just guessing, because there was like a lot of Chinese immigrants that helped build the railroad. I think it was built for them to like have shelter, and like take a break when they're building, when it was snowing. That was my guess, because when you went in there, it was like maybe 6 feet wide and maybe like 4 feet high. So it wasn't really that tall. But then again, like a lot of if you're taking a break, you're usually sitting down, and a lot of Chinese people are short. So I kind of like put two and two together. But we would just hang out there. It was above the railroad track. So then a train would go by, and we just sit there and watch. But it was just so neat. Like um, doing these little adventures, in that little cave. And then when I was an adult, there was these caves up in Auburn, over by the confluence. And that was even, I mean, this is, I was married, then. So this is only like maybe like 10 years ago. You would have to like kind of like not so much rappel, but you would go down the ventilation shaft, which is at a pretty good angle, but it wasn't like you're rappelling, you're holding onto a rope. And you get down to the bottom, and dude, it was like the Goonies. Like there was like a lake in there.
There's a pirate ship.
One Eye Willie.
Yeah.
But it was kind of like it was cool because there was like a lake, and at some point like water was coming through the roof like a waterfall, which was weird because it was there was no water above us. We weren't like under the river. We were actually not level with the river. We were still above the river. So I think this was like runoff from like the mountain down, and it was coming through the actual ceiling. And so we would what was cool is we took a glow stick and we broke it, where you activate it, and you threw it in the water. And when it hit the water, it was crystal clear and it just glowed.
Huh.
I was like, dude, it was the most eerie thing ever. And there was like a boat. We had like a blow up boat that we took across the little creek in there, or the little river or lake, whatever you want to call it. It had some current because the glow stick was moving, and we would have a rope. So we just, pull ourselves aside, to the other side. And then you go to the other side of the little lake or river, whatever, and it opens up in a bunch of mini more caves. But they had like these little offices in there. Like they're like bored out. And the weirdest thing was, there's one point where it just goes to like a cliff inside the cave, and it drops down to like maybe like 10 feet down into like water. But in there was a set of golf clubs and a golf bag.
That's weird.
Very weird. So what we did was to trip out the next people who would go in there was we took that golf bag, and there was this hook that was on the ceiling of the cave, which was not that high. We had to like lean out over that little cliff thing, and we hooked it onto there. So people would be like, how the heck did that get there? So we're just tripping people around. But I think it's the old granite mining caves up there, between Auburn and Cool. They've since blown it up with the entrances, from what I've heard. So you can't even go in there anymore. And you weren't even supposed to go in there, but it was it kind of gave me my fascination for caves and triggered my claustrophobia.
And now we record in a cave.
Nice segue,
Yeah.
sir.
Yeah.
Actually, you know what? Hold on.
F&A, Cotton, F&A.
Yep.
Thanks.
Let's see. What? So I played baseball when I was a kid. The one thing that I remember is like all the kids in the neighborhood, we get together and play pickle.
I love that game.
Yeah. So like
It's so tiring, though.
we had enough people to like whoever wasn't playing, you'd throw their glove down on one end as the base, and
Oh,
somebody else would throw theirs on the other, and then somebody would run, and you'd see if you get tagged or not.
yeah. Did you ever
But
have like a Sandlot style, where you had like, like 9 of your friends, and you would just go out and play ball?
yeah, there was a park down the road that had a baseball field on it. We'd go there every once in a while.
Yeah. I always remember.
Or we'd play it in the street.
Oh, I never did that.
Yeah, one of my friends threw a baseball, and it went through my sister's window one time.
Oh, wow.
Yeah.
Yeah. I always remember my school. This is back in Alta too. Our baseball field was up above the school, and I had some friends that I had just my really, really close friends. I had Fred, Toss, Curtis, Jose, and and Chris, and we would all just 5 of us. But there was never enough people for a whole team, let alone 2 teams to play. So we would do that thing where if I got on base, I'd be like, okay, man, ghost runner on 1.
Ghost Runner on second.
You remember
Ghost Runner
that?
on third. Yeah.
Ghost Runner on one, and then like if I hit like another single or whatever, then I'm like, no, he was safe, man. Well, he slid. And well, it's a Ghost Runner. They don't slide, dude. Like, um, but it was like a little Sandlot type thing. I miss baseball, but pickle, yeah, that was. I remember that was very, very tiring, very tiring.
Yeah.
I remember
Good
getting
game.
caught in a pickle. I think when you and I were playing softball, that was a
That's-
very, very short-lived pickle.
You just stop. I give up.
Yeah, I'm like, dude, I'm not even trying. I'm gonna pull a hammy. So let's see here. So you said pickle. I have a buddy. He's still around. He lives in Utah now, but his name's Fred, and him and I would. A lot of these take place up in Alta because that's where I had most of my adventures. But he lived above Alta at a place called Drum Forbe, and he was. It was kind of sad because he didn't have any electricity at his house because he lived kind of off the grid in a way. But I mean, he did have electricity, but it was powered by a generator. So they would like fire it up on certain occasions. So I remember, and he's like kind of the guy that taught me essentially like how to not be so attached to I guess modern things, like video games and stuff. So like we would ride bikes up there by his house, and then we went on this really long hike to the lake, and the lake had these big uh like tubes. I know you can see them if you go to LA off of near Bakersfield. It's like the big long tubes that come down from like the reservoirs, and they feed like the aqueducts or whatever. But it was like basically it's like a canal, but it's a solid tube. So we would climb that up to the lake and we go fishing. And I always remember that. And like I said, like I'm not a huge fisherman, but sometimes it's just nice to go out and just hang with the boys, just not just to kind of like forget about everything, not so much be so caught up in the today world, just to let everything that's bothering you just go away and just hang out by a beautiful lake. So I always remember those little adventures with him going up there, and mainly the hikes, especially since we were so off the grid. It was kind of like, we packed our own food like jerky and Squeeze-Its or whatever, and then we would just walk up there, and it kind of felt like you were independent, I guess, and like you're like a little adult, I guess.
Yeah, the so like most of the time I lived in a neighborhood, and in between me and one of my friends' house was a big park, and there was a big canal creek thing that ran through the park. So so we'd meet there sometimes, and we'd hang out at the park or go fishing in the canal. But that was probably where, yeah, I'd say that's probably where I started fishing quite a bit.
Was it like
then.
a canal like that had fish in it, or was it like a canal where people got their water?
It was basically like a creek, but it was man-made because it was like cement on the sides.
Oh, okay, I gotcha.
Yeah. But there's fish in it, little bluegill and
Yeah,
catfish and stuff like that.
yeah, I remember. And once again, in Alta, we had a canal, but it was mainly for the PCWA, which is the Placer County Water Association. It was where they get their water from, but they have cool canals where they're up in the air, so they like would cross roads, and so they're like little bridges. So we just walk across there. It was totally like Stand By Me. It was crazy. I love those things. We never like got in them or anything because I mean that's where people drink their water, but there was no fish in it.
I'm sure there's at least one fish in there.
Well, I never found it. And then I think when like moving down the hill now, I lived in a town called Applegate. We all know about Applegate. It's just above Auburn. Um, my buddy Josh, who passed away many years ago, he's actually, I remember I was with you when I found out he passed away through suicide. He had PTSD from the military, and him and I, we would go and we rode our bikes from Applegate to Grass Valley, and that's a long ride.
Yeah, that's a ways.
Yeah, and then we stopped off at Lake Rollins Lake. I think it was at the Greenhorn area where we stopped off. And then after that, our friend Bridget at the time had a birthday party at the roller skating rink in Auburn. And so we're like, let's ride to Auburn. So then we rode our bikes from Grass Valley to Auburn. And then after that, we called, once we got to the roller skating rink, which we did not roller skate because we were so tired, we ended up calling Josh's dad and we're like, dude, come pick us up. There's no way we're making it back. But I was like surprised we made it that far. I mean, it was it's a long ride. You know,
Yeah.
so
So were you roller skates or roller blades?
well, if I was to do it, it would have been roller blades. Did I ever tell you about my roller skating accident?
No, but it sounds like a good story.
This is a good one. I swear I said, I can't remember. Everything's like such a blur sometimes. I can't remember if I said it on the show or not. I was young. I was maybe 10, maybe. I was at a roller skating rink in Sacramento when I used to live in Sac, and it was that time where that guy gets on there. All right, everybody, it's time for couple skate. You know,
Oh,
and
this is where Hey Girl came from.
is it? I thought Hey Girl was with my wife.
Oh, I don't know.
Well, it was kind of like that too, but like it was. I saw this girl over there. I was like, oh, she's kind of cute. I'm like, you know, but the DJ was like, hey, we're gonna warn everybody that couple skates come out. I'm like, I'm gonna get this girl to couple skate with me. I'm gonna do my trick.
Oh, I think I remember this now.
Oh, okay. Is this the yeah? So what I used to do was I would then I did roller skates. So you know the guys in roller skates that go around the corners, and as they're going, like you could hear the wheels making that
Yeah.
noise. Yeah, I would do that all the time, even though I wasn't going very fast. But I also did the hands behind the back, crossing the legs and everything as you go. Like yeah, and then my thing was I was going to go full force into the wall, which only goes up to about your waist. I'm going to go full force into the wall, and I would flip over the wall and land right where she's at, and it would look so cool.
That
And
would have been cool.
it very well would have been cool. So what I did was I'm like, here we go. I see the girl because she kept looking at me. So I'm like, dude, she's liking the Tommy. So I'm going around about 3 feet or so before I hit the wall. I don't know what happened, but I just took a header. Like I went straight in. My head goes whack right against the wall. I'm immediately crying like that, and then all of a sudden I move my hand away from my face, and I have the hugest black eye, and I see everyone, including that girl, go, "Oh my gosh!" like that. I'm like, ah. The little referee guy who's roller skating is like carrying me into the back room and everything. I'm sitting back there crying like that, and I see the girl kind of skate by. She's like, "Are you okay?" I'm fine. I have pictures of it somewhere. I gotta find them, but yeah. So rollerblades.
Yeah, I was rollerblades. I couldn't do the regular skates.
I used to be really good. I used to be able to do the grind the bars. I used to be able to do that until I did a nut crusher, and I was like, "Yeah, never again." I almost became Tammy that day.
See what you did there.
Yeah. So let's see. You have anything else?
I think that's it.
All right. I think I got one more. Then we can just, another thing. One of the things I did up into my adulthood was I had 3 really good friends, Eric, Alan, and John. They've all gotten married and have kids now, so it's kind of cool seeing everyone grow up. But we used to ride quads all the time, and I remember, what was it? We were riding along. Can you hear that? You hear noises?
No.
I think someone just turned the TV on in my house. We were riding along the railroad up in, I think we were in Colfax when this happened, because we went down to Weimar from Colfax, which isn't that far, but we ran along the railroads, and it was just after a storm, so it was kind of wet. And he had like a really like nice Yamaha Banshee quad. I had like a Suzuki Quad Runner or something like that, so something that wasn't nearly as fast. Well, he's in front of me, I'm behind him, and there's this puddle. So he goes through the puddle, and when he goes through the puddle, the water kind of disperses, and I see that in the middle, I don't know how he missed it. There's a huge rut that I couldn't see. So I'm like, I'm gonna, kind of flip the back end of the bike out and kind of like ride through it a little bit, like, to where my bike has more of a gap in between. And I'll just go through the puddle kind of sideways a little bit. I don't know how fast I was going. I was going pretty quick. And all I remember is the front right wheel hitting that rut and my bike just stopping. And I go forward and my thighs hit the handlebars because like I said, I'm still going. And all I remember is just flipping in the air. And at that point, I'm like, I just closed my eyes. This is it. This is how I'm going to leave this world. It's been real. And all I remember is just like, ow, 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 like that. And I wake up. Well, not wake up. I've never passed out, but like I open my eyes and I am stuck in like blackberry bushes and like a manzanita bush, like the manzanita tree. And I'm feeling the pain more from the all the the blackberry bush like thorns like scratching me. And then my buddy Eric's ahead of me, and just like him in all his fashion, most people would be like, "Oh man, are you okay? Okay?" He looks back, he goes, "You're an effing idiot." Like that. I'm like, oh my gosh. Like he's all, dude, because that was his bike too. He's all, I think you broke my bike. Well, dude, it wasn't my fault. Like you rode through the puddle. And he goes, yeah, so did you. And so so we had to ride it. The bike was, it was messed up, but we had to ride it back to the house. So it was like, in order to steer straight, the handlebar was all the way to the right.
Oh.
Yeah. So it was pretty jacked up, but dude, just good times, man. Just not really getting in trouble, just, being a kid,
Yeah.
and just finding yourself and stuff. So did you want to quickly touch on some like nostalgic video games before we sign off?
I think maybe we should save that for another episode.
You want to do that? Okay, that's fine.
Yeah.
Because dude, we got a list.
Yeah. That one might take a while.
Yeah. I'm looking at my list right now. I'm like, I don't know. That's pretty long. But yeah, man, I just, to bring it back around again, when I see the kids outside playing during this with their their families and stuff, I'm like, man, that's a memory for them. And I heard on a radio show the other day, one of the hosts was interviewing his daughter, and it was like the callers could or listeners could ask questions, and they said, what's your best memory with your dad? And she says it was never a memory of like anything he's ever gotten her. It was always something that they've done together. And that's like me. Like I can't, I mean, I could probably remember a few Christmas presents and birthday presents, but I will always remember like my childhood, like those experiences with just, having, just funny times, just, adventures. I would always remember all of that. So this is a good opportunity to take time with your family and play a board game, get outside if you can, and, bird watch if you, I mean, that sounds boring to me, but it might be fun for someone else. If you're allowed to, just go for a walk, somewhere. Just be in the moment with your family. Don't just kind of stick in front of a TV. I know it's really hard to do, and sometimes that's all you can do, but we can make this a positive.
Yeah. There's, I mean, it's hard for me because I got so many kids, So,
Like, what,
and
15 now? 15?
yeah, we're getting up there.
Yeah.
But we've been playing like Uno and stuff like that. The kids really like that.
I still don't wanna play that.
Frozen Uno.
The kids at church play it. I still don't get it.
Yeah. We got a couple other like games and stuff to play. We've been doing that.
I might bust out the escape room later today. I have a escape room VR, which is kind of
Oh,
cool. Where you have like the VR and only one person sees, and so you have to ask the other person questions who has like the paper in front of them, and then they're gonna read something back to you, and because you can still hear them, and you got to look around the whatever room you're in. Like the one we did the other day, I was in a submarine, and
huh.
I had to like somehow like find oxygen for the submarine in a certain amount of time, and each one's like an hour long, so it's pretty cool.
That sounds fun.
Yeah, I'll probably pass it down to you because once you play it once, you can't really play it again because you know how to do it.
Oh,
I pass it down to you, and it uses your normal phone, so it's pretty.
okay.
And it has like a little button on the top, so like you could like hover over something and you like click it to let it, and it lets you know that like you did it, like you're solving the game. So, but yeah, man, that's all I got for today.
That's all I got.
Hopefully, hopefully this recording turns out better than the last one
Yeah.
with the switching between the videos and the soundboard and all that. So, but
And I got a microphone now.
dude, you actually sound really good.
We'll see.
Yeah, well, on my end, you sound good. So, and I'm the recording end. So when I kick this back over to you, it should sound pretty clear. I mean, you still sound distant, but not too distant like you're on a phone.
All right.
So, but anyways, want to do a quick thank you to MSR Arms for helping us out and being there. Go support them at msrarms.com. And then use the code WTH5 at checkout for 5% off your entire purchase. If you want to reach us, we could be reached at 916-259-3030 or the real WTH show at gmail.com. And then all of our socials, so our Instagram, Untapped, YouTube, Facebook, all that is the real WTH show. So go find us on there, especially Instagram. That's where everything is happening. That's the go-to place.
Still got some giveaways left.
Yes, we're still doing some giveaways. We're not going to tell you what they are or when they are, but we're saying like if you just participate, you may just be the winner. We announced a winner the other day.
Yeah.
Adam won, and
Yep.
we've also had a winner before that, which was David Lewis, who is a former guest.
Yeah.
And he will be a featured guest as well. But yeah, you never know what you may win. There was I think in Adams there was a awesome Thin Line Brewing glass cup, right? The one of the cups.
Yep. Yeah.
Yeah, those things are
Got
nice.
some stickers, some pork rinds.
And what you guys got to understand is I'm jealous because I don't even have one of those cups. I mean,
Yeah.
I do, but I don't. It's at the studio.
Yeah.
And so, I mean, you guys are gonna get treated pretty well. So just participate in it. It's a lot of fun, and the questions are simple. It's not like you need to know an answer. It's basically just, like
Your opinion.
on something. Like I think the other day, one of them was what I should do for my quarantine birthday. I think Adam said I should go out and shoot stuff.
Yeah.
So I'm like, I wish I could. So, but yeah, find us and all there. All of our Untapped stuff. So all of our beers that Wilson has tried, that he's ranked from 1 to 5, is on there. I'll be updating it shortly after we stop this recording, and it'll be on there. That way, if you're ever at Thin Line Brewing, you're like, oh yeah, I'm at Thin Line. What did Wilson say about the Vixen? Oh, he gave it a 4 out of 5. I'll try that one. That sounds pretty good. It just kind of helps you out with your brew choices. And it's not just Thin Line on there. We try all of them, but Thin Line is there are people. So
Yeah. They're good people.
we like them. So I think that's it. I know I'm forgetting something.
Yeah, I don't know.
Yeah, but
Until then,
until then,
Joni loves Chachi.
yeah.
ladies and the men, J.
I'll talk to you then, or I'll talk to you another time.
Jobin.
Like forgetting Sarah Marshall. Hey, did you have that necklace before?
This is going in the outtakes. Dude, you look cool right now.
I know.
I'm gonna do mine real quick.
Let's see. I'm hiding in the grass.
Whoa.
Can't see me. Can't see me.
Check
It's
it.
weird. It like made me the green screen, not my background. Oh, there it is.
I know. Why does it make me the green screen? I don't get that.
Yeah. You need a solid background, it says. Oh. I'm in space.
Dude, you're flying, dude. But that's even though that's weird though, it needs a solid background. The background behind me is more solid than my face. So why is it making my face the green screen?
I don't know. Because your face is a solid color.
Your face is what? That's what you just said.
Yeah.
These are gonna be funny outtakes.